to the channel, Trucker Rod in the S.E.E channel, and we're hanging out here, Harrisburg, Kentucky. I'm at the Arco truck stop. I'm just checking out, seeing if this thing's gonna go live or not. Why isn't that going live? So we're just hanging out here. I got one more stop, and then I'll be back up to the house and yard tonight in the evening. So give this a few minutes, see if anybody's gonna chime in, hang out, and all that jazz. But oh, come on, let this go there. But yeah, we are on the clock, trying to shoot for the middle of June to be done, but we're trying to get things in order. So to wrap up, we worked diligently on our Michigan home for the last month, from all new windows installed, interior trim around the windows and painted, plus other painting that was accomplished. We went pretty hardcore and savage on the house Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Kind of got it wrapped up. It was all deep cleaned inside, power wash, windows wrapped up, finished caulking, exterior trim around the doors, the shed door trim and all that jazz got taken care of. What else did we get done? Landscape, we did all the, the landscape, put in new flower bed and hanging plants. So did I go in and do a ton of painting? No, because I concentrated more on the structural or mechanical aspect of the house. Since we've owned that house for the last 11 years, we have put a complete new roof with boards, a complete HVAC, heating and cooling, and a heater and gas line, out to the garage to heat that. Hot and cold running water out to the garage. New appliances, plus the commercial Speed Queen washer and dryer going with the house. New hot water heater. All 4 bedrooms painted, 1 bathroom done, and all I could get from one walkthrough was, well, there's some trim that needs to be done and a bathroom that needs to be finished, which is our master bath, and the kitchen probably will need a repaint. We never painted it. I'm just like, I put enough money into that place, so I'm kind of fatigued out on putting any more into it. And even if I painted the kitchen, the dining room and living room, they're probably going to look at it and say, even right now the house is all in neutral colors other than the laundry room. And that's just thankful for the previous owners who were just knuckleheads for, that whole house needed to be painted. That said, if I went in and painted this house, the Michigan house, the one we're trying to sell, if we paint it, they're just going to come in and change the paint anyways and put their personal touches on it. So I'm not a mind reader for each person that's walking through, so we're really hoping that someone will come in and appreciate it and just know, hey, with some paint and a little bit of just fine work, that's about all you've got to do to it. Everything else is set in place for them. But I think a lot of people's expectation these days are, whether they buy brand spanking new or they buy used, they just feel like they're going to walk in and get turnkey and everything's hunky-dory and fine. And, to get a house at that price is very in the affordable housing range compared to the median home price is anywhere, $410, $420, still in the fours. And then most of the houses that are being built around our house that are brand new are 3-story, 3-car garage going for 6 to 750,000. And you can please everyone, but man, people are walking around with too much expectations in life. So, uh, so that was Saturday. We finished up with the house. Sunday, I got out here in the truck for the first time in probably 5 weeks that I came out on a Sunday. But we talked about moving things forward logistically, so that was getting prices for either a pod or a U-Haul truck, transporting one of our other vehicles on a transport trailer and shipping it out there. We got a storage unit out in Arizona to receive everything once we get everything transitioned out there. So I took care of that yesterday. And, oh, what else? Getting some other things taken care of. We got a moving sale this week too, Friday and Saturday. The wife's taking her car to go get new tires because it's 7 years old and it has the factory original tires. So we're doing that. Plus the brakes and pads showed up. It's like I said, the car's 7 years old. It's only got 47,000 miles, but I'm just gonna throw new rotors and pads as she stated to me. We are gonna be without my garage anymore. So I'm either gonna have to rent a garage or do something to do any kind of work that I've been doing. That's why I'm trying to sell my truck. I have that lifted Ram that y'all seen in the background at home. I don't need the truck. There's nothing wrong with the truck. It's just impractical for the direction I'm going. When I built the truck, starting over 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I had this vision. But then we moved and got this house. We were thinking we were just going to move out of this house and move down the road. And, then things happened and then COVID happened. Then one thing led to another, and our trajectory and the direction we wanted to go in life, it all changed. And along the way, I started taking a look at things and said, I started questioning, why did I get into this? Why did I buy that? Why did I build the truck this way? So if it comes down to, I don't, I've been checking with a place to see if they can do a consignment. I haven't heard back, so I'm probably going to say no. And I'm willing to let the truck go at this point for about $20,000. Just, I don't know, I'm kind of getting fatigued on just working on and building things in that sense. I got a lot of other things I want to do, which entail, personal things, hobbies. There's just other things I want to do, and I've been just going full tilt and full throttle for the last 26 years, and I just kind of want to downshift a few gears and just slow down a bit, and not have my body just full throttle, especially as I'm turning 60. I'm going to stay busy and active, but just not going like I'm 18 years old anymore. So it's kind of I'm at the crossroads. I guess the biggest thing right now is that damn truck of mine, is whether or not to follow through with what I got in my head to build it out and just continue with it, or what. If someone liked it more than me, I'd just rather turn over the title and keys and just say, here, you finish it. And it's not like it's non-drivable. It's drivable, but there was more upgrades and other things I wanted to do. And things got in the way, and paying off debt and getting the equity or the capital saved up so we could get this house and make this transition. So that's the sacrifice. But I didn't leave the truck disabled and where it was in the middle of the build project but unable to drive it or anything. We just got to a point, said stop there, just let it sit. And but I got a grocery list of stuff I'd like to do to it, but I don't know. It'll probably, if it goes with us, then yeah, I'm gonna finish it out. So we will see. In the meantime, we're still waiting on quotes for the transporter to haul the truck out there, and then we got to figure out what we're doing with um, still, I think, between pods and renting a U-Haul with a transport trailer. Because if I haul the wife's car on the transport trailer, I'm stuck with the trailer and golf cart yet and how to get it out there. So I'm waiting on a guy with a gooseneck to see if he'd be willing to take and drive the truck in a 6x10 trailer onto his gooseneck and take it out there. So we're all waiting on that stuff. I don't know, some of these transporters, they're sketchy, and you got to look at, make sure they're bonded and licensed, and they don't get, whoever you go through, you don't get double brokered out. Because a lot of these transport companies, they'll turn around on a small job and they will just then hire someone under them to go pick up my truck, and then these people don't have insurance or bonds, so you got to watch that double brokering. And so outside of that, I don't know what else to say. We got to get this move done. I was shooting for to be leaving around the 15th, but I got a feeling this is starting to look like it's going to get pushed back probably another week, with other things we got to get done and accomplished. And I need to be home for a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard to get things done when you're out on the road. So there's only so much you can do by phone calls and FaceTime. But job-wise, it looks like I'm going to be turning wrenches and not driving, other than probably shuttling school buses around and maybe running routes. But the one job is a mandatory overtime, and but it's a mechanic's job, so I'm going to be following up with that at the end of this week, because I'm trying to get all my other ducks in a row to kind of get an idea of a timeline, because the moving trucks and the transporters and everything like that has to be scheduled, and we're trying to feel our way right now as we're getting prices with that. That's going to help determine. So yeah, still some frustration. I can see that another gentleman I follow, and I've talked and have conversed with a few times, Jeremiah Babe there. He moved from California to Alabama, and he for many years said, hey, I'm looking for a house in the deep south. I'm gonna move. He'd said that for probably 5+ years. Everyone kept saying, you'll never move, you like California too much. He's originally from Chicago, but transplanted to California. But now California is it's a complete toilet bowl. And he finally moved to the southern Alabama, and he has a homestead there. And Michigan's getting to be that way. Just too many dum-dums thinking like a Californian. And I don't know. I like where we're going. It's more remote. It's more out of the way. I don't mind that, especially going forward as I get older. Every day, every week, every month, every year, hey, this body's getting older and older and older till it's finally going to give out. I just want to be positioned so I can sit on my deck or back porch and not stare at the deep snow and the sub-zero degrees temps. I just don't want to be trapped in a wintry tundra in my golden years. We've watched our families doing that after retirement, and I said, that's not me, and I want to be outside still going and cruising along, well after I'm done working. So a lot of folks are saying you're retiring. No, I'm not retiring. I am just pivoting and getting out of trucking. Well, why don't you want a truck? Because I've got other skill sets that I've had, and I've said it last week, and I was trying to get that across to my neighbors. There's other things I can do, and all I'm doing is repositioning and pivoting into a job that will allow me to be home every day at my dinner table, in my bed, not be on the road, and away from home. It will be a cut and pay, but to make this kind of money I'm making, you're going to get on a hamster wheel and you're going to go. Uh, they're having a hell of a time trying to find anyone to run my route right now. Now they're looking to outsource my route to either LTL or another company to run it because they can't get no one to run this route. They are Nobody's applied. Nobody guys Drivers come in, they either want to just drive and bump docks, or they don't want to be out overnight. And a lot of them are either like me, they've done their time doing, like when I ran reefer, I'd go out 3 months at a time, be home for 2 days, month or three at a time, home for 2 days. Uh, you can't make money, you can't make the money you think you're gonna make by just being home every day. And you're gonna work. I mean, even when I did, I want to say within Michigan, back in the 90s, I still was working 90 to 100 hours a week because we didn't have to run under the logbook, so we could just run stupid. And I don't know. I guess if everybody just wants to live poor, but they're like, I don't know why everything's costing more. Well, you got to step up and make more to stay ahead of inflation. But I guess many of these drivers that come in are just amazing on just no work ethics. Whatever. I just want to get settled in out there, put this behind me, and just start a new career. Yeah, I started out as a mechanic and welder in the mid 80s, into the late 80s, and just ended up in trucking and hung on the trucking for a while till I road fatigued out of that, and then went off to school to be a doctor. Worked 10 years in that, only to get laid off twice in a year and going under financially, just to pivot back into this. And now I'm going to pivot into mechanic. And some said, why don't you go into healthcare? Because healthcare sucks ass. There's no good money in it. I'm not going to invest in something that is a complete waste and garbage. I don't believe in pushing pills to cure you, and just some of the ethics I've saw from doctors, American and foreign doctors, and these pharmaceutical reps coming in, I can't get behind it. So, and it was never my intention to work in the Western medical model. I fell back in my bachelor's degree so I could be home every day to raise my son. Now that my kids are 29 and 39, they have moved on. They've got careers. They're succeeding well, better off than I am. So to go into healthcare, I don't need the stress, and I'd be fired before lunch. Because knowing what I know now, I'd probably tell a few people off on their stupidity and the way they act, any more than these school teachers. But it'll just allow me to work with a few guys in a shop and just keep things cordial and just kind of be in my own work bay and do my thing without being in a hospital setting. You're just around a bunch of henpecking people. So, and it was never my intention to be in that sector of healthcare. I was going to be a chiropractor physician, to have my own practice, and my wife was going to be the medical biller, and I wanted to get involved with sports teams and all that other jazz. But hey, we tried, and we just couldn't get there. The priorities were getting my son raised, and then of course taking care of her. So now we've got the pivot, and the pivot is I'll just do a 40-hour-a-week job. I'll come home, I'll work on my real estate and my swing trades, the home-based businesses. That will supplement the other half of what I'll lose, being here, spinning the wheels on the truck here. So I'll just buy my time back to get the home-based businesses, because with me working on those, that will align and set us up. So when I get to a point, say in my, 10, 15 years from now, and I want to walk away from the physical work and just sit on my computer and just work an hour or two a day and then just do whatever I need to do, just as long as that home-based businesses are cash flowing us. And that's what I'm looking for, is just to uh, take care of us in the future. Um, both jobs that I've been interviewed for come with the Arizona State pension, good health benefits. So I really don't want to rely or think about, ever put a thought in my mind of thinking of relying on Social Security or Medicare. Basically, I'm trying to just build that safety net to take care of both of us. And let's see what's going on. I see the chat's ramping up. Slade Ray, A-Rod, life is good. It is, man. Said hi. Right on. Oh yeah, Slade Ray. All right. Yep. Yeah, that's my contractor out there in Arizona. He's helping me out getting that house tuned up. Yeah, I gotta talk to you this week, Slade, because we're trying to push the timeline to be in there sometime towards the middle end of June. So, and he's trying to get things tidied up in the house, the caulking, and just some regular maintenance, home maintenance stuff that has to be done on that before monsoon season out there. And then we got to get the ADA steps in next. But yeah, that house isn't going to require a whole lot of work as compared to what we done on the Michigan home, which really kicked our ass for a better part of 5 weeks. And I don't want to go through that again. But I just hope someone will come through and appreciate where the house is at, and then, they can pick it up, take it from there. It doesn't need the work like we put into it. We moved in that house. The roof was leaking. The hot water heater busted the day we moved in. The HVAC was antiquated and just spitting along. Live pilot gas stove. The appliances in there were so outdated and they were all mismatched. Plus, a couple of the bedrooms, one was purple with glitter in it, and the other one was a hot pink. The other one was seafoam green. Idiots really had it all screwed up. I mean, we've gotten through all that over the course of the last 10 years, including, putting the new appliances in and all, but I don't know. Sure. So, right now, just doing our time. So yeah, my tentative date would be June 12th here, driving truck. If I need to, I'll probably extend it one more week. We just got to there's a lot more phone calls we got to make and get on top of. Tomorrow I got to make another call. The wife's taking her car in to get the tires put on. The brakes, the rotor and pads are there, so I got to get those on. Friday and Saturday's the moving sale, so we got to hover. Both of us got to be at the house. Surprisingly, there's not as much as when I look out in the garage, there's not as much as if you look back 4 weeks. It was like, oh shit, there's a lot. But she has been able to liquidate a shit ton of stuff. Plus, I've had quite a few friends stop in and cherry pick a few things out of the pile. So the pile has dwindled down to where, there's a few things I'd like to see sold. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take it with me because I'm not giving it away to Goodwill or any jazz like that. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that's either going to get pushed off the Goodwill or trashed, because I just don't have time. And we have one piece of furniture, two actually. We got a chest freezer and a bed. And at this point, I need to get rid of the rest of the meat in that chest freezer. So I'm going to be giving that away here in the next couple of days, reaching out and seeing if I can get more people to come over and take more of that off our hands. Because that chest freezer's got to go down the road. It's new. It's 3 years old, but it sat inside the house. It was never outside in the garage or collecting dirt and dust or anything. But I sold the Bontrager shoes on eBay today. They're ready to ship tomorrow. On my way to the tire shop. All right, thank you, Laura. Yeah, she's moving a lot of stuff. Home Depot has their Memorial Day sale on appliances right now. Yeah, ain't nothing I can do, nothing we can do about it. I am not buying them and trucking them out there. I'll just get them out there. That's too much on our plate. We were talking about buying appliances and putting them in the pod and shipping them, but I'd rather just get them out there when we're ready. We've got to watch our money too. We're trying to keep reserves in check for the move, and I just can't go out and just drop, $3 grand on new appliances, and then, that could be $3 grand put towards something to get us positioned out there. So that all said, we've kind of come to a standstill on anything expenditure wise, other than all the contractors in Michigan are done. That house is done. All we got to do is just yard, the grass cut, keep the house clean, just keep everything maintained that way. More or less, I need Slade here in the chat. He just, as he's doing this on the side as he's doing other full-time work during the day. So we're just gonna get our stuff done there, and then of course I got that. He's got me in touch with the electrician to do some electrical to run out to the gazebo, and that's there on our new property with a breaker box, because what I want to do, and he brought up a good thing. He said, man, you should take, and he was showing me on the gazebo, do some pony walls on the west and northwest side of the gazebo, because it doesn't face the Superstition Mountains. And I'm going to do that, but on the top of the pony walls, I want to do into the gazebo, I want to do like a bar, or like right on top of it, like a butcher block, but like a bar, so I can put some bar stools there. And then he was pointing like he was already owning it, and he's like, hey, you need to put your big screen TV up here. So we kept the sound bar and all that for that out there, and I think we're going to do a bar on one of the pony walls and put some bar stools up there that people can sit there besides out at the fire pit there. And then I want to do some roll down screen shades on that side where the sun would be, coming in. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to do to that house, and really just personalize and give it some really upgraded touches that we want to do. We just never had a chance on the Michigan home, because it just had to have all these other things done besides all the the painting and all the other cosmetic stuff. We had to concentrate more on the functional stuff of the house. So this one, I think, will be pretty well set. And so I'm just looking forward to getting this over with it now. So the big speed bump is just getting everything on a truck and just making the jump out there. And it'll probably take us a couple weeks to get the momentum going and get things rolling, and go from there. But it's definitely some stress, a little bit of anxiety, but what do you do? I know the wife's worrying about this and this, and I'm like, at this point, I don't give a shit. I'm not worrying about it. There's a couple things I am, but that's about it. If I was more worried, it's like I just like to sell my truck, because I really don't need it. Just can use a little two-wheel drive, 3/4 ton, older truck, whether it's a 90s or 80s or 70s, big block or something like that. I really don't need a four-wheel drive out in Arizona. I need a regular truck that I can drive on the pavement, tow a toy hauler. If I want to go off-road, I'll just get a side-by-side at that point. So it's what else we got? I sold this. Nope, they can be delivered right there. But yes, move comes first. Yeah, but we don't have the money to go spend on those appliances. But she was able to take our points, our reward points, from, because we are set up in 3 different banking institutes or credit unions, and we got points, so she was able to cash the points in and get Home Depot cards. So we're just going to buy our appliances, and we'll probably get those after we get the Michigan house sold, and take the money from the equity on that and do a washer, dryer, kitchen appliances, and get some of the outside stuff done. So I just, like I said, I just, there's a few things, but they're not major. But I just want to get them done by the end of this year, so that way I can just go to my job, do my job, come home, work on my trades, my real estate, and then just kind of just do me, and indulge in some other hobbies and activities, and just take a breather from life. Because being out here on the road, you're in this truck all day, then you're living in the back of this truck all night, and then you get home, and then the grass needs to be cut, and this needs to be fixed, because a house is a constant maintenance, especially on that caliber of a house. And you're just bogged down with bills and other things. So, and at a point we were taking care of 2 properties, and I think that's what was killing us. We were just getting by, but never getting ahead. So selling that second property last year gave us the boost. And of course, selling this house and walking away is gonna put the icing on the cake. It's just getting the buyer. And everyone's like, haven't you sold it yet? Well, dude, if you're asking me, you don't know what the market's like. Do you know the economic downturn we're in right now, right? Like AI's putting, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people out of work. Most college graduates are coming out saying, yeah, I'm already going to be unemployed. So they don't even have a job. So they're already moving in with mom and dad as they're transitioning from graduation to moving home and working at Starbucks or Walmart. We are now at the peak of surpassing what the 2008 to 2012 housing crash was. Worse. It's going to be worse than that. And it's going to get worse this summer. And nobody seems to see that coming. They just play on their ignorance with money and economics. And we're doing everything without being spontaneous or emotional on anything we're moving forward with, and that is making purchases or making moves. We have to do things, and it may be irritating to other people, but you know what? At the end of the day, this is my deal, not yours. And that's what I got to tell people. I'll move on my time. I will do on my time. And, but right now, the wife and I had said Saturday night, she goes, all right, this house is tuned up, ready for a new buyer. She goes, I just want to get the F out of here now. And I'm like, well, that's when the Sunday conversation came in and said, well, let's pivot and get into the logistics side of it, and getting everything ready and moving, and get numbers. What is it going to cost us to either use a pod or drive, a truck out there? So I think we'll have everything kind of wrapped up on that. See, tomorrow's Wednesday, probably by Thursday. And like I said, I would be amazed if this company reaches out and would take my truck on as consignment to sell it. And I'm not getting too greedy on it, but really need more of a commuter truck that's going to go down the highway, and not something on 36-inch tires. But other than that, her car will be tuned up, and then I got to do a couple things with the golf cart and get that ready to load up on the trailer, and hopefully get that out there. So don't know yet, but we're working on it. But yeah, that's the thing, is we got, between the pods and the moving truck comes in cheaper by about $900 or $800. But then you got to add in your gas on the moving truck, and if we're using a moving truck pulling the transport trailer to haul her car on, My fuel mileage is going to suck, so now I'm probably going to offset that difference with chewing through money for gas. So that's the things that we gotta. That's where we're at, tweaking back and forth on these conversations. Is what's going to be more practical. It's going to be cheaper to drive her car and tow the golf cart than it is probably to try to transport the golf cart in the trailer on a transport truck along with my truck. And I don't want to drive my truck out there because I don't want to have too many vehicles on the road. That increases the risk and liability of having breakdowns, tire failures, repairs out on the road trying to get across the country. So I'm just trying to minimize the stress level of the wear and tear of what, may ensue, when you're out on the road. Then you're at the mercy of everything going on. So if we did pods, we could take the trailer and golf cart. Yeah, that's what I just said. Then just transport the Dodge, right? So that's something we got to weigh in and see. But what really we've minimized. If we were to look back 5, 6 weeks ago and look around in the house, we were like, how did we get here with so much shit? But now we've got it. And we've gone back into the storage unit we have in Michigan. I've gone back twice and purged at least 2 totes out to either put in the garage sale, or I just pitched and said I'm not taking it. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we are not taking. And then of course there's going to be things out in Arizona. We got to purge that house because they left it fully furnished. So then we got to pull stuff out, purge that, and sell all that jazz, and to make room for our personal stuff. So, but at that point, it's not going to bother me so much because we can take our time. Day by day, we can just pace ourselves because we're not going to be in a hurry. It's our forever home. Whereas this home, we have to get it emptied. We have to get rid of stuff because we're trying to show buyers the house, so we need to get the crap out of there. So that's going to be the flip of the stress. And yeah, I think Saturday, then Sunday, we're going to go visit some friends. And I think by Saturday evening to Monday, because Monday is Memorial Day, so we're probably going to be starting to pitch the stuff that's left over from the garage sale, the moving sale, and just gonna have to let go of some things, and then probably about 3 things I could see that I'll probably take with me if they don't sell. But we definitely are not trying to milk high dollar money out of everything. We're just like, hey, if you're interested, make me an offer. I'll tell you what, this generation, and especially the boomer generation and the young generation of today, because the boomers were never confrontational, and this young generation, this Gen Z and younger, they are not so much confrontational. It's like, dude, man, I can be one that can just jump in the crowd and just have a conversation. I go up and just, if I've been to garage sales and moving sales, I'm like, hey, you're asking 20, what would you take? Would you take 10 for this? People are just like, oh, it's too much. Well, what would you give for it? Well, I don't know. Well, what's on your mind? You got to pry it out of them. I mean, people are just so fucking undecisive with no common sense and no people skills. It's like, don't come to a moving sale if you're an introvert and you just want to freaking hide in a closet in your safe space all day. So, sorry you feel that way, but that's what you brought on yourself. Sorry you have feelings. Get over it and just get out there. If there's something you want, you see it, ask about it. Best I can say is, no, I need my 20, or yeah, I can take 10 for it. I want to move it. I don't want to hang on to it and then, take even less. It's like everything's going to be a free for all for that moving sale. I'd hope someone would just come in and say, I'll buy everything up. Would you take $200 for everything? Yeah, shit, yeah, man. Here, let me get you loaded up, take everything out of here. Help me just one swipe, get everything out of the freaking garage, and then down the road we go. That's about. My wife is taking some of my pricing responsibilities away. She goes, "You are not pricing things right," and I said, "I want it gone." I said, "Right now," I said, "if I get a few bucks for it, great. Take it, go." She she's like, "No, no, no, no. We need to get this kind of money." I said, "I don't have time for that. I'm an auctioneer. I'm just like, if it's worth 50, give me 20. Let's go. Get that damn shit gone." And sold. Yeah. Well, I but yeah, that's going to be Friday and Saturday. If people come up, I'm just going to say make an offer. Don't let any prices reflect what, and you walk away. I said if you got a price in mind that you'd rather give for it, blurt it out loud. I'll probably take it and say, get it out of here. Because then otherwise I got to fill either my trash bin or load it in my truck and run it to Goodwill. Because criminy, I don't have time for that. And then you can go deal with Goodwill. You got a better chance of negotiating the price down with me than you do at going to Goodwill and getting it. So that's the best I can say about it. And yeah, and then we'll just go from there. But yeah, I'm just praying every day that we just get the buyer for the house. I'd rather get that house under contract before we go. It would make me feel better. But right now, the place I'm at, they're vetting the people because they're making sure no one's coming broke as a joke with a 420 credit score. Like, I'm not parading people through your house if they don't have a way or means, of buying it. So they're really vetting hard. And so far we've only had one come through, second one coming through Thursday. We were supposed to have one tomorrow, but then their realtor canceled. So I don't know. It is what it is. It'll probably take some time. I didn't expect it to go the first month. People are just right now. People are skittish and going out and making a big ticket purchase if they're already leveraged, and if they don't have enough capital reserves to put down a good down payment portion, credit score and all that. So debt to income ratio is what I'm saying. When they're leveraged, they are over their heads in debt, and I think most Americans are. I'm thankful that once this house sells, we're out of debt. Other than that house out there, and that's manageable compared to what we've been dealing with for the last 12, 13 years. We're able to live and breathe once this turd's gone, and just being thankful. So it's been a long, hard road, and it's just that road and that hamster wheel I just don't want to be on anymore as I turn 60. I just want to be able to just live meek and live humble. And well, I mean, if I'm making 100,000, I want to live like I'm only making 20,000. I want to live very subpar and very poor, just for the fact that I want to just live with financial freedom and stress free. That's it. What you got going on there? At the garage sale, it's whatever we can get rid of. School's almost out, so things you usually pick up after that. Yeah, I don't know. I really just like to see things kind of get moving a little bit better, or at least get something solid locked down. So, two things I'd like to see, to be honest, is a buyer for my truck and a buyer for the house, and just go from there. I never thought, if you were to say 12 years ago, yeah, you look like a standard cab two-wheel drive pickup kind of guy, and I'd laugh at you. Now I'm like, that makes all the freaking sense in the world, man. Just a simple damn truck, just air, tilt, and cruise. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. I don't need the cup holders and the whiz bangs and Wi-Fi and all that nonsense. That, then when the shit fails, then the people are like, well, I guess I got to get a new car. It's the old joke from the days when I grew up. Um, the horn quit working, so you got to go buy a new car. Now it's like your Wi-Fi doesn't work. All your computer doodads in there don't work. It's like, oh, I got to get a new car. I just want an old style car. I'd even take an old style. I saw an old. If y'all remember the TV show from the 70s, Starsky and Hutch with the Gran Torino. I had a Gran Torino in the day back in the mid 80s, and it had a 350. It had a 351 in it, and I had the opportunity to put a 400 in it. But I saw a Mercury. What is like the Gran Torino? Is it the Mercury Cougar of that same timeline? But I saw one, and I'm like, I told the wife, I said, I saw that the other day, and I said, damn, I haven't seen one of them in probably 30 some years, and just takes me back. I said, when the cars were simple, and man, you could just build a nice big block, or something you can put in there, put in some good road gears, no computers, just a good stereo, good riding car. I said, that's all you need for transportation. But everyone thinks you gotta have all the latest greatest whiz bangs and bells and whistles. And I just, to the point when you're getting a 4-cylinder or V6 pickup truck for over $50,000, I'm like, there is no value in that vehicle for that price. I can't wrap my head around it. I will not. I mean, that was the most I've spent on a vehicle, was the wife's car. And I said, that's good. That's the last new car. I said, that's a 2019. I said, I will never buy anything newer than that now, with all the kill switch mandates and other jazz that they're implementing. I said, I'll drive old school. You ain't gonna get the gas mileage. 10, 12 miles a gallon's fine with me, man. It don't bother me one damn bit. At least if it breaks down, I can pull in an O'Reilly's and fix it right away. I don't have to have a laptop to talk to the computer, to then go buy a bunch of overpriced sensors that will never last. And the cars are so unreliable anymore, the new ones, as compared to the old ones. But yeah, I'm gonna be, if I get rid of the truck, then yeah, I'll go with something much older, and just something mechanically sound. It ain't gonna be the bell of the ball, but it definitely will be roadworthy and reliable. But other than that, yeah, this truck, they can't get a driver for this truck. No one has applied. They have been or they've had searching for a driver to take over my route for what, 2-3 months, and they finally said, hey, when you get back, I got to go in Thursday, and I got to sit down and show them where all the stops are and how to efficiently run the route, because they're going to probably have to have an outside company come in and run it, because they can't get no one to work for them to do this. Like I said earlier in the stream, was no one wants to be out overnight, and no one wants to get in the trailer and unload. So I don't know. Everyone's gotten really soft and sissified, so I just say whatever. If I was younger, this wouldn't bother me. I mean, if I was 30 years younger, shit, yeah, I'd be all over this job. And because you're left alone, unless I got a truck problem, which I've had, on and off quite often, and or a product problem coming off the trailer. I never talk to the office. There's no cameras looking at me in the truck. There's, none of that jazz. And I'm left the freak alone. If they call me, it's usually, hey, we had some orders put in for the backhaul, which is just internal. So my backhaul comes out right outside of Lexington, Kentucky. I pick it up and I take it right to our yard. They take it off my trailer and then they load up my next week's run in it. That's it. It's not one of these bullshit backhauls that takes you into 2 or 3 drops in the different distribution centers and that. I've got no tolerance for that shit whatsoever on these general freight call bullshit stuff. You know, these guys that like to run the load board in the spot market, I say, you're a bunch of fucking idiots, man. Go get yourself locked in with some shippers. Go get yourself locked into dedicated run or something like that if you own your own truck, instead of running the spot market and running just, you know, garbage runs. So criminy. Yeah, I did that when I ran reefer. You never knew what you were going to get, and it usually was a shit show. But 1 out of 10 was good, and the other 9 was just you put more time and effort getting your backhaul off than you were running the house products that you went out with. And I said, I spend more time on my logs delivering the backhauls than I do delivering the house product. And I said, you guys got to get it together. So, you know, just observation and things you got to recognize. But anyhow, been on here 51 minutes, and I want to get. I got my food. I got everything staged over here to warm up and eat. Because if I ate before this live stream, I'd have gotten sleepy on y'all. So I've been getting up. Let's see. Sunday I got up at 1:30. Got on the road by 2:30, or at least got in the truck and logged in by 2:30. Monday I got up at 3:30, and yesterday, or this morning, I got up at 3:45. So I've had no sleep-in time, and I get a little bit more. I don't have to get up till 6:30 in the morning and just run around the corner here, kick off the last stop, and then shoot back. I'll have to take a look at the weather for tomorrow, because I've been trying to get this thing to the Blue Beacon since I got it back, and freaking rains all the time. I was going to wash it. That's why I went in so early Sunday. It's going to wash it at the Blue Beacon in Beaver Dam, Ohio. And hell, I got in the storm squalls or rain squalls. And I'm like, well, not going to bother with it. I'll get it on the back end of the route, you know, heading back up. And the clouds are coming in here. But I'm going to check tomorrow, because whatever the weather says today, 12, 16 hours from now, it's going to be a totally different forecast. So just wait till I'm en route, and I'll see what the weather's going to entail to whether or not I'm going to stop and get this old girl a bath. I only got her for about 3, maybe 4 more weeks, and then we're going to part our ways. And like I said, be picking up some wrenches and learning some new trades and new equipment and maintenance. But I'd rather be on that end now. As I'm pivoting, I just do my time, go home, come back next day and pick up from there, and just keep going. So a lot of this stuff is just when you're just here babysitting and sitting on top of this day in and day out, it gets tiresome after a while. I've got other trades and other skills, and I want to be challenged more. And a lot of guys, this is all they know. They don't know how to get out of trucking because it's all they ever mastered. And props to them, they want to deal with it. But I feel like I'm wasting brain cells staying out here any longer, and I need to be. I got things to do and worlds to conquer, and just can't do it when I'm burning up time out here behind the wheel. So, but hey, y'all take care, stay safe, continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned and not taught. And yeah, it's going to be new and exciting things coming forward that I'll probably back out a lot of the trucking knowledge, but I'll probably follow maybe a couple channels on the news aspect. But for the most part, we'll just kind of tell and talk about what's involved with the new job and what I'm doing, and just take it from there. So appreciate y'all being part of this channel, and as we grow, and take you along on some other stuff outside of what I do here, and what I'll be doing out there. But I think we're going to be exploring and seeing some things on our bucket list, and definitely like to take you all along. So catch us on the next live stream. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to know when the next video or live stream goes off. That way you can keep up with us and see how you can pivot from one career to another. So until next time, folks.